To talk more on the nation's insecurity situation and outcome of President Muhammadu Buhari's meeting with heads of security agencies, Adamu, security expert, joins me on the news. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, the president has yet again given a marching order to security chiefs, but owing to the worsening security situation, is it safe to say all we get are talks from the government and no action in solving insecurity?
Well, in this instance, there is a clear directive, and that clear directive is to rescue all host victims of kidnap for ransom, specifically the AK-29 train victims. Now, for me, that is the starting point, and I'm hoping that the coordinators within the national security architecture, including the Office of the National Security Advisor and all the others, about 5 others, will pick up that directive by Mr. President and break it down into key performance indicators that would allow them over a period to measure whether this directive has been achieved or not. That has been the missing link in the past. The president will issue such directives, but unfortunately, they are rarely fulfilled. So in this instance, I'm hoping to see a change. He's done his part. So the bureaucracy, the technocrats that work with the president, in particular reference to the Chief of Staff to Mr. President, as well as the other coordinators within the national security architecture, I'm hoping that they will pick up this and turn it into actionable items that they will use to measure on the performance or not of these agencies. But I think this is a good development. It's a clear directive that can be measured. If at the end of a period, say 1 month, we look at it and we see that the victims have not been freed, then we know that these organizations have failed. And so there must be some consequences for that failure.
With the country lacking in technology and human intelligence, is this an achievable feat? Seeing that the country recently commemorated the 8th anniversary of the abduction of over 200 Chibok students.
I do not think the issue is lack of intelligence, because I operate in the civil space. I run, a consultancy. If you pick up my report from December through to March, in all this period, I have mentioned consistently the activities of these non-state actors as they are operating in all of the locations that are currently being targeted. And I know that if, as a private individual or private corporation, we're able to gather that kind of intelligence with the little resources at our disposal, I'm almost certain that the public security departments have more. So I think it's the failure to use the intelligence and not necessarily the absence of that intelligence. Now, there was a particular statement by the National Security Advisor, and it's a very important statement where he emphasized on human intelligence. Now, that is actionable intelligence that would pinpoint when these things are about to happen. Now, the onus is on the public security departments, including the Office of the National Security Advisor, to bridge the gap between the people and the government. Now, when you sit in your office and expect the citizens to bring that intelligence to you, it's not going to happen. You need to go out to them. You need to harvest this intelligence. And the best way to do that is to use the organizations that you are coordinating. So the SSS, as an example, they have personnel that are deployed in these locations. How come these personnel don't report on these things? What is the reason that is stopping them from reporting? The police, the civil defense that is in charge of private security departments, there is no house, no government agency that you go to that you don't see private security personnel. So when these things are happening, they know. But then how do they feed it into the national security or national intelligence pool or fusion center that we have? So those are the kind of things I'm hoping that offices like that of the National Security Advisor will look at. The intelligence is there. The challenge is harnessing that intelligence.
Well, indeed, Adamu, security expert, thank you very much for your time and your contributions.